Well, hello there YouTube. Today I'm going in with another tutorial. Last tutorial was about modeling the scene right here. I haven't touched it. So if you wanna follow along the modeling, you can check out the last video. Link is gonna be in the description. So in this video, I'm going to add in some small details that I forgot in the last video. I know. And I'm going to make procedural. You can call them procedural materials. So, without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I'm going to add in a plane and scale it down. Go into edit mode and grab it right here. After that, we're gonna go to edge select. Select this one edge. Press Ctrl I to avert the selection. Also, I forgot to tell you the add-on right here, which tells you what button I'm pressing. So we are going to delete these edges, go to vertices select, and then move this shit out of the way. Okay, going back in, and then we are going to grab this right here. If we want to make it more defined, add a little cut. Then we are going to add a mirror modifier with clipping turned on. Make sure it is aligned in all axes. After that, we're gonna add in a skin modifier. Press Alt, Ctrl A to scale the skin. And then we will make sure again that we are now going into the face of our character. Yeah, that seems good enough. Add in a subdivision modifier. And continue editing till we have a good looking shape. We can also add in subdivision modifier before the skin, so we have a more detailed part. So after we've done that, what I'm going to do is add in a nose support, which should be pretty easy. Grab in a cylinder, make it very small, go into edit mode and move it. So I think this place is good for it. Go into edge select, extrude this a little bit, leave it there, extrude again on scale, extrude yet again, and now we can modify this. Add in a bevel to make it look a bit nicer. A mirror modifier. So I guess this looks good. Now we're gonna start with the materials, the actual topic of this video. So we will go to material preview, and what I'm going to start with is the main material. So add in a new one, and then with Node Wrangler enabled, it's an add-on. Go to add-ons and type in Node Wrangler. Yeah, it comes with Blender. So with Node Wrangler turned on, I'm going to press Ctrl T, which is gonna give me these nodes. I don't need the image texture, so I'm going to press Shift S and then switch it to a noise edge. And I'm going to add in a color ramp, which will define the colors. So now we can start working on these materials. We can change the scale on that. just add in a slight modifications so it looks good. Also, we can modify the colors. And just playing around a bit with it. So after that, we have this good looking material. I'm just going to copy it. Shift Control L and link materials. Of course, I'm going to duplicate this. I don't want to look at the same. So in cases like this, you might have some bad UVs going on. All I'm gonna do is press A and then Smart UV Project, which is gonna give me this. Now I can add this properly. Some of these deformations happen because, well, we have a lot of modifiers going on. So in some cases, you might need to project it manually. Think that looks good enough? I mean, if you want to, you can apply all the modifiers, which will hinder us later on. So I'm just going to stick with that. You can also use the object as the vector. It can work good in some cases, but if you want some precise model, well, it's not gonna be that good. So once we've done that, I'm going to add in a metallic material for this, which is fairly simple. Just crank up that metallic value. After we've made it a metallic, I'm gonna add in a small detail. Just again, Control T. I'm going to plug this, unplug this. Plug the vector into the object and switch this to a noise texture, which I'm going to add in a color ramp for extra control and a bump node, which I'm going to plug into the normal. Then I'm going to scale this down and give this a very small height, maybe even smaller, something like that. Also reduce the strength maybe. So now it just looks way better. If you want, you can UV unwrap this, which I don't think is gonna do anything because we have no actual mesh, it's just an edge. We're gonna add in the same material to the hinges. Again, it looks pretty damn good. Also, another thing that I forgot to do in the original recording is to add a metallic material to this part. So I'm just going to go into edit mode, face select these faces, and then add the material, which I am going to do the metallic material, and then just click assign. Also, you can add in a loop cut, make it go all the way in. Also, check the other part. Make sure that I do the same in the other part as well. So now we're going to add in the transmissive material of the glasses. It's actually really simple. I'm just going to crank up the transmission and get the roughness down, because if we have high roughness, let me just show you. See, the less rough it is, the more light can pass through. Same thing goes with transmission roughness, as you can see. So back in, we make the transmissive material. And then another thing you may have noticed is that I have my logo typed in here, which is like extremely simple. First of all, I'm going to apply the mirror modifier. You can see, so it doesn't like reflect to the other side, and type in backwards. So what I am going to do is add in another Control T, grab it right here. I'm going to unplug this, add in a mix shader, mix RGB, sorry. This is gonna be the second color. And this is going to be the factor. I'm not going to switch this. It's actually going to be a file that I have, which is this. So here I'll open a new tab for it. It is going to be a UV editor, because we are going to UV unwrap this. So just like that, I am going to UV project the faces that I want the typing to go in. So just smart UV projector, select all, rotate to 90, and make sure that it's rotating properly. In these cases, we might need to play around till we get it correctly. Don't worry, I don't understand the UV unwrapping properly either. But if it works, it works. The same thing with coding. So after we've done that, I'm going to add in a color ramp, which I am gonna set it to constant so I don't have any weird pixels flying around. So now I'm going to grab this until I feel like it's looking good. Of course, we might have some other faces, which in this case, I'm going to just put them in the white. So nothing is shown. We are just going to grab these and put them away. And just take this face right here, scale it back up, and put it again where we want it. Same thing here. See what I told you about the mirror modifier thing? It's happening right now. So in this case, I'm going to separate them. And I will make sure that it has a different material so it doesn't affect the other. Remove the rotation. Then this should be good. Yep. Exactly like that. Another thing I did, or let me do this, is that I have a metallic node. So I'm going to plug this color ramp into the metallic node, and I'm going to invert it with an invert node. As you can see, only the typing is in metallic, the other is not. So I'm going to do the same thing with the roughness. But another thing we may notice is that this is completely rough and this is completely shiny. We don't want that. So I'm going to add in a map range, and I'm just going to increase the minimum and reduce the maximum. So there is a variation, but I'm not going to, it's not going to be completely opposites. I'm going to add in a bump node, plug this into the height, and this into the normal. As you can see, it's open up a little bit. You can increase the distance if you want. It doesn't make that much of a difference to the end. So now, to make this the same thing in the other parts, I'm going to copy these, go into this material, and then paste them. And it's a matter of plugging them now. So for this part, I'm going to show you how you can add in different parts to the same object. So I'm just going to select this and this and the, and I'm going to go in and add a new material for that. It is going to be the metallic material. I'll also add another material, which is going to be the main one. Yeah. And I'm going to go like that. So I can select the faces that I want the new material to be on. Select this material and click Assign. So now we have this looking absolutely good. That's gonna do it for the actual lenses. We are going to add in the materials for the box, which is really simple. Click here, add a new material, which I'm going to link here. And then we are going to make it black and pretty shiny. So now we're going to copy this color, add in a mix RGB, add in a new, like Control T, plug this in. This is going to be the factor again. This is going to be the value that we copied earlier in the first. This is the second, which is going to be a golden color. Yeah. And then I'm going to add this in. I will get another image and I will add in my logo. So now I will select everything. No, so select this in Smart TV Projects. And also I'm going to project on this image. So select everything, scale it down, and grab it to the empty area. Now get this. Of course, if this happens to you, just adding in a loop cut. This is pretty destructive, so you may want to avoid it. So now, scale this and grabbing it. This looks good. Let's do it on the other box. And that looks good. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did here. Plug this into the metallic value. This goes into the roughness. Again, adding in a map ring. And this, the minimum is gonna be pretty high. The maximum is gonna be low. I want this to be even shinier than the box. That is looking good. Of course, this is getting copied to this part because they have the same material. So go into the bump, add in a bump again, just the same we did earlier. do just like we did and add in a color ramp. Make sure it's constant, not linear. Everything that I was doing, I will do it again, just with this. So, as you can see now, the line is much crispier. Looks way better. I mean, not if we zoom this much, but from outside, it looks good. So after that, I'm just going to add in the interior part of the box, which is really simple. Select these spaces, the inner ones. After we do that, create another material and assign it here. So this material is going to be like a cushion, best described. Its color is going to be blue. And now, again, switch it into another noise texture or a Voronoi texture. They're not really that different. Plug the color into a ramp. It's pretty repetitive, but it gets the job done. Don't plug this into UV, make it an object, because we have not UV unwrapped this. Oh, another thing, make sure it's rough. Make sure it has a good sheen. So scale this down. And that's gonna be it. So here we go. We have modeled the sunglasses. We have made the material. Hope it helps. If it did, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button so you don't miss out on the following videos. Also, I have an Instagram which I post my finished renders in. You can give that a look. Other than that, see you later and have a good day.